Marani.
Well, this is Healing Wednesday, and every Wednesday evening we come together with special guests, questions and answers, discussions, meditations, and of course, channeling. This is our once-a-month free program, and we so appreciate all of you YouTube subscribers and all of those of you who are joining us for the first time anywhere on the planet. Special welcome also to Healing Wednesday members who receive one of these programs every week of the year. Every single week we're here on a Wednesday evening. If you're not a member and you follow the Circle of 12 anyway, as a free member, as one who wants to see it for free, thank you for that, and being a YouTube subscriber. So if that's the case, this is your 16th program, and you can see all of the others on the YouTube channel as replays. Well, if you're a member, however, think about this. This is program number 61. So even new members, if you want to join, receive access to every Healing Wednesday program we have ever done, and the library is building all the time.
Now, for our members, there's a comprehensive index to find the speakers, channeling subjects, and the Circle of 12 experiences for every program that we have in our library. If you're not a member, but you would love to be, of course, we would love to welcome you to our community. It's very easy to subscribe. Cryonmasters.com. Now, question. Are you a Spanish language speaker? ¿Habla español? This show is also available in Spanish, and it will begin in about 30 minutes. Este programa es en español también, comenzar en 30 minutos más. And you can find that on our Spanish YouTube channel, and that is Kryon Lee Carroll Español. Now, if streaming is poor in your area, don't worry, because your replay will be available both on YouTube and in your membership portal. We'll upload that very soon after the live stream, and they will stay uploaded in that area. We do not remove them at all after an amount of time. So one of the things Lee and I enjoy doing is taking questions from our beautiful light workers that are on the planet tuning into this program. This question comes from Janet. Janet is in Virginia in the US. Could you please say more about compassionate action? I feel very drawn to this practice. When I hear the word action, I think of a physical action such as donating money, volunteering, or offering a kind word. But I think Kryon means something different related to consciousness. Can you please expand? Great question, Lee. Compassionate action. True light worker to be asking that question.
I agree. Well, Janet, you're correct. It's a little bit like you said, but there are some differences, and it's a kind of action that is, what I want to do is to tell you where you can see the various kinds of actions that actually Kryon talks about. There's a recent channel series about compassion where Kryon discussed what this actually meant, and as well as the other kinds of compassion. And you can find these on Kryon.com, free audio. It's on my site. They are free. They're audios, just like it says. But look for February 2021 channelings. And it's a series, then, of 4 channelings where Kryon talks about the various kinds of compassion. And compassionate action is one of them. I want to tell you a story that's going to really give you, I think, an example of this. It'll show the difference between the various types of compassion, but specifically compassionate action. And it's a story when I was 14 years old, and I was taken on a trip with my sister who was 10 years older. And I was just coming out into teenage years and all of that, and it was an evening and at night, and she actually had picked me up. I had come in the airport, and she'd picked me up. I'd flown alone. And we were traveling to a hotel, and we were excited to be whatever destination that was. And I was with my sister, and I was enjoying myself. And we came across a traffic accident. And that traffic accident was horrendous. And I remember this all my life. It's the first one I had seen. And we, unfortunately, had arrived before the police. And that meant that nothing was roped off and everything was visible. And someone had died. And not that we could see them, but I saw very clearly a woman who was sitting on the curb sobbing. Whew. Just remembering it now, and realized that she'd lost somebody. And it hit me like a brick. 14 years old, and I think for the first time I had ever seen anything like that. And I was crying, and I started to have compassion for this lady. My sister saw this, and she didn't really understand, whether I was just upset with the accident or whether I was feeling compassion or whatever, but I'll never forget this. We drove about 2 blocks. When we got past the traffic in the accident, she pulled over, and she looked at me, and she says, "Let's do something about this." And I said, "What would that be?" Well, my sister, good Christian girl, and remained that way all her life, and she said, "We're going to pray." And she took my hand, and we prayed for the lady, and we prayed for her peace, and we prayed that she would have some kind of solace and get through this fast, and that it might have an outcome she didn't expect. All the things we teach today, that is compassionate action. It's a difference from simply feeling compassion for someone or donating or whatever, where you involve yourself in a personal way to help somebody that you see is in need. So you can see this compassion is accompanied by some kind of like personal action on your own, and that we'll then call compassionate action. Sometimes when I hear about something that creates compassion in my heart, I'm always looking for something I can do, since I believe that consciousness is energy, and we can send light and love.
I love that phrase, consciousness is energy, and all of us, I feel, have benefited from that beautiful explanation, Lee. Thank you. So let's move to another question. This is Telly from Sydney, Australia. Telly is saying, "I am doing my best to stay in a cheerful and grateful state of mind, but repetitive and negative thoughts are always popping up. I have difficulty getting rid of them." Oh my goodness. I think I chose this because
Yeah, you did.
It's tough when you want to be so on the spiritual path and yet you have these negative thoughts coming in and popping up, and it really breaks up your peace.
You'll tell you're not alone in this. It's just what Monica said. I think we can honestly say that all of us have the issue depending upon the circumstances, of course, of our lives. I think it's first of all a reminder that we're all human. And the duality of the old energy on this planet that we've all slogged through even to get here, it's still there. And it's what we grew up with, of course. You can't just wipe it away because you want to be positive. So for me, I started being more cognizant of when this happened, because it happened to me too, of course. It happens to everybody, Telly. And when it did, I always had a phrase or something or an exercise that reminded me that it was actually a habit of the old energy. So the negative thoughts come in and I realize, well, here it is again. Most of the negative thoughts, for me anyway, about expectations, okay, nothing good will happen, or here it is again, or I'll never be able to do this or that. For most of us, they're self-worth issues, but they're negative thoughts. Other thoughts, of course, just negative thoughts, anger. At whatever. You're yelling at the television set or the things that are in front of you. It's common. So when that started happening and I realized I was slipping into those habits, I developed phrases to immediately draw me back to the love and the joy that I believe is our native state. When you exercise a muscle, as you know, it becomes stronger. And this is the same process. Slowly, I was able to catch myself and turn these things around so that these thoughts didn't occur near as often. Or when they did, I was able to, as I say, stop them, turn around, and not let it be full-blown into a negative scenario. What I'm saying to you is that we have to work at it. I had to work at it. You have to work at it. We all do. And catch it before it brings you into a full negative state. I know it sounds simple. For some people, it just sounds too simple, but this is what so many are teaching. Affirmations, they work. Phrases, they work. It's about getting out of the habits of letting negative thoughts in. Innate hears you, spirit hears you, your whole body hears you when you start to correct yourself. The other is a constant reminder that negativity is not our natural state. We're born magnificent, and love is our natural state.
I love that. Love is our natural state. Lee, if it's okay, I want to just share 2 books that I've recently had come into my world, and both of them I feel are very helpful for that exact question. One of those books is called Magic Words and How to Use Them. The author is Genevieve Davis, and it's such a simple book to read. It gives great techniques about the magic words. You can affect those around you just by the choice of words that you use. You can change aspects of your own life just by the choice of words you can use. So, Magic Words and How to Use Them by Genevieve Davis. And the other book that I recently read is called Complaint-Free World. What a concept. Don't you just love the title, Complaint-Free World? That's by Will Bowen, and he actually gives a physical technique where you have a bracelet on your hand and you catch yourself with the negative phrase and then you move it to the other wrist. And the idea is to go 21 days without swapping the bracelets. We also know that our beautiful colleague Marilyn Harper and Adironda, they have that same concept as well, where you can work with Joy and Marilyn because they do an exercise of changing the bracelet as well. So we're going to do one more question before we do a meditation channel. This comes from Gabby. Gabby is in Canberra, Australia. She's asking, what's the difference between frequency and vibration? Good question. The difference between frequency and vibration.
Well,
I know this feeds your nerd
I know.
self, so that's why I'm asking.
But
it.
she's really asking a good question because one is scientific and one is metaphysical
Yes.
because of the way we use them. Gabby, this will be a short answer, but you're not the only one who's asked this. Remember, I'm an engineer. I still am an engineer, even though I'm a channeler too. I didn't throw that all away. So I go to the linear stuff first. Vibration. What is it? It's a term that refers to the oscillation of anything, of atoms in particular. So you could say something is vibrating, and it means it's moving back and forth very, very quickly. That would be a vibration. Frequency, then, is how quickly it moves back and forth, or the rate at which it's vibrating, quick, fast, slow. But let's look at how we use it esoterically. Because we often say, as metaphysical people, as light workers, something is vibrating in a very high rate, or the Earth's frequency, for instance, becoming higher. That's really a metaphysical talk, and it's all jargon that we use that actually means the same thing. It's referring to an awakening planet or anything that's getting better. So sometimes we say something has raised its vibration, same thing. So just think of it as the same thing, same word. It's just in different ways, and it's mostly metaphysical talk.
Well, Lee, I feel very inspired from those questions that talked about compassionate action, changing negative thoughts, and raising frequency and vibration.